Fallout 76 shocked the gaming world with a reveal trailer that was masterfully crafted. Its ability to evoke nostalgia was nothing short of amazing, and I still remember the feeling that I got watching it for the first time. The unexpected use of John Denver's Country Roads reignited the song's popularity in the mainstream, making it synonymous with the game and the Fallout franchise. Now for me, whenever I listen to Country Roads, I immediately think of Fallout 76. The Country Road to launch was filled with hype and excitement. Surely the developers of the newly formed BGS Austin, formerly known as Craze Studios, could take the Fallout 4 code and then retrofit it for online multiplayer with MMO aspects and it'd be successful, right? Everything seemed to be going as planned, that is until the beta went live, or as Bethesda called it, the quote-unquote break it early test application. Let's just say the hype turned to uncertainty and the cautious optimism turned to pessimism, or for some, nihilism. Surely the first ever attempt at a live service Fallout game would be in a better state at launch, right? Well, as history shows, Fallout 76 was doomed from the start, which I guess is fitting considering Craze Studios also developed the multiplayer from Doom 2016. Make no mistake, Fallout 76 was an attempt in cashing in on the Fallout IP and then milking it for all it was worth. It not only was seen as the worst release ever, but it forever tarnished the good name of Bethesda Game Studios and Todd Howard. The jig was up. In the past, I and many Bethesda faithfuls were able to forgive and forget the sweet little lies, and we grew to appreciate the beauty that is Bethesda jank. But the fallout of 76's launch was so devastating that it changed everything. No longer were we going to sit idle and be taken advantage of. Pre-orders were canceled, refunds were requested, and reviews were bombed. The song we all listened to and loved stopped reminding us of a home far away and instead reminded us of a hellish nightmare akin to our first experience at Quarry Junction. All hope and NPCs seemed lost for Fallout 76. No way could this game ever pull off a No Man's Sky style comeback, right? A long and windy 2 years went by. The sentiment surrounding Fallout 76 remained relatively the same. It was still seen as the stain of the Fallout series, and many Fallout fans abandoned the franchise entirely due to being burned so badly. Fallout 76 seemed like a lost cause, but that didn't stop Bethesda from quietly plotting behind the scenes. On February 4th, 2020, Bethesda revealed a new beginning for Fallout 76 called the Wastelanders Update, a free expansion that brought Fallout 76 back to life. It was not only a stim pack to the reputation of the game, but it also brought human NPCs that were originally absent from the launch of the game back into Fallout 76 in the form of two factions, the Settlers and the Raiders. Now for Bethesda, this was a new beginning for Fallout 76, but for a lot of players, it was an actual start. The Wastelanders expansion was released and it featured a new main quest, new creatures, gear, dialogue trees, and an all-new reputation system. And for the first time since the revealed trailer, Fallout 76 was finally seen in a positive light. Reviews of the Wastelanders expansion were positive and the community seemed happy. The Wastelanders expansion was the start of Fallout 76, in Todd Howard's terms, quiet popularity. Now the Wastelanders update was also the initial launch of Fallout 76 on the Steam platform, with it reaching a peak concurrent players of 32,000 on the Steam platform, which at that time was most likely when Fallout 76 had the most amount of players that they'd ever had since launch. This expansion laid the groundwork for the ultimate task of changing the sentiment surrounding Fallout 76. The country road to redemption was clear, and all Bethesda had to do was keep moving forward. In the wise words of Fallout New Vegas's Joshua Graham, "For many of us, the road is a difficult one, but the path is always there for us to follow, no matter how many times we may fall." Cut to December of 2020, Fallout 76 released a new expansion entitled Steel Dawn. This expansion introduced the Brotherhood of Steel faction into the game, along with new quests, locations, weapons and armor, NPCs, and the new camp shelters, which allowed players to build and customize instanced underground spaces. The expansion aimed to enhance the multiplayer experience with new content and a new storyline. Now, in terms of the sentiment of this expansion, opinions were somewhat mixed. Some players appreciated the addition of new content, as well as just the overall nostalgia and hype of the Brotherhood of Steel faction added to the game. However, others felt like the expansion didn't address some of the underlying issues with Fallout 76, such as the bugs, the glaring technical problems, as well as many felt like the questline was relatively short, and I also hope that the difficult moral decisions within the questline would have had a more significant impact on the ending. Fast forward to July 7th of 2021, Fallout 76 released the new and final chapter in the Brotherhood of Steel questline called the Steel Rain expansion. Now, like the other expansions, this one brought a new storyline, new locations, gear, a new legendary crafting system, and a scoreboard. Now, I personally thought this expansion was really solid. It gave the decisions a sense of weight within the world, but as is with most of the other expansions, it was pretty short. Initially, it was plagued by technical issues, and I really feel like they missed out on the potential of the super mutant plotline they introduced. It felt like it wasn't as developed as it could have been, which I guess is a common trend with the Fallout Fallout 76 expansions. Now this brings us to the Pit. Now the Pit was released on September 13th of 2022, and it was the next major content update for the game. It takes us back to the iconic industrial city of the Pit, first introduced in the Fallout 3 DLC. Now for those of you that are unaware, the Pit is an expedition, which is a repeatable story-driven mission in the game where players travel to a new location where they get to meet and interact with two new factions, the Union, who are a struggling group of freedom fighters defending themselves against the Raiders, and the Fanatics, a ruthless raider gang seizing power within the Pit. This expansion of course brought new rewards specific to the Pit, including new weapons, armor, camp items, and more. This right here is when Fallout 76 really started to ramp up the nostalgia and kind of lean into that aspect of the franchise. The storyline was interesting, the rewards were worth getting, and overall it was seen as a positive for the game. However, the expeditions did become a bit repetitive and grindy, and this update didn't really offer much of an open world exploration, which if you're a fan of Fallout, that's like a core component of the experience, so not having that was kind of a disappointment. So now this all takes us to the latest Fallout 76 expansion, the Atlantic City Boardwalk Paradise. Released as a part of Season 15 towards the end of 2023, this new content update featured the Atlantic City Boardwalk, an overgrown and partially flooded rendition of the East Coast location. The content included 2 new missions, casino-themed rewards, new camp items such as slot machines, card tables, roulette, and other casino-inspired decorations. I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like they really leaned in on the Fallout New Vegas nostalgia with the casino themes. Overall, it seemed like the sentiment surrounding this update was mostly positive, especially whenever it comes to the camp items. I mean, slot machines, card tables, and roulette, like that is a big W. Now, following the release of the Atlantic City expansion, as well as all of the other expansions for Fallout 76, the game is in an acceptable state amongst many of the players. The negative sentiment people had at launch is for the most part left in the past. Now, some people still hold that against them, and they will continue to do that for the foreseeable future, and I don't think there's going to be any changing that. They really did get burned at the launch, and it's totally understandable that they're not willing to give another chance to Bethesda. Now, jumping to April of last month, the highly anticipated Fallout series by director Jonathan Nolan releases on Prime, and it marks the start of the resurgence of the Fallout IP. Over 65 million viewers tuned in to watch the Fallout show in 16 days, and the show is seen as one of, if not the best video game adaptations ever created. Millions of people, myself included, have rekindled their love with the Fallout series, playing old games, playing new games, and even playing Fallout 76, to which that game sees an insane 72,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is their new peak for that game, and over 1 million players have played Fallout 76 in a single day, and as of recording this video, 59,000 players log on every day via the Steam platform. The game seems like it's finally in a state where they could start the snowball effect of growth. If only Bethesda Game Studios had a major expansion for Fallout 76 coming out soon. Well, lucky for us and lucky for you guys, the Skyline Valley expansion is set to release in June. The expansion is inspired by the real-life Skyline Drive in Shenandoah. Yeah, you know the place from the song Country Roads? It introduces a new main quest line surrounding Vault 63 in a pretty peculiar storm. It also features the law school enemies, new legendary weapons, new combat updates, and a new event called Dangerous Pastimes, as well as a bunch of other events. They released the Skyline Valley on the public test server on Fallout 76 via Steam, and from all of the gameplay that I've seen, it looks like this will be an insane update, and I cannot wait to see how it's received and how good it is, because hopefully it's as good as it looks. What we're seeing right now is Fallout 76 in a state that we never thought we'd see it in at the launch. With how disastrous Fallout 76's launch was, I never expected this game to have any players, let alone have a major expansion coming out in the year of 2024. With that being said, Fallout 76 still has a long road of being the ultimate Fallout experience, and I really hope that Bethesda and Microsoft continues the support for this game, releasing free content and paid expansions, and make Fallout 76 one of the best comeback stories in video game history. Well guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Are you still playing Fallout 76? What is your level in the game, and are you excited for Skyline Valley? Don't forget to enter the PlayStation 5 giveaway. I'm giving one away at 160k subs. Those details are in the pinned comment. Like the video, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.